Okay, today we're going to talk about a pretty interesting new tool that's making some waves. It's called SotaSearch.ai. Now, it calls itself a privacy-first, evidence-driven research assistant. But what does that actually mean? When you strip away the marketing? Well, let's break it down and see what makes this thing tick. Right off the bat, the tool asks a question that probably hits home for anyone doing serious work. Is your AI research assistant sharing your secrets? I mean, think about it. Every time you upload your literature, your notes, your half-baked ideas to a typical cloud AI, where's it all going? Who has access? It's a massive, massive risk, especially for unpublished work or super sensitive data.
And this is SotaSearch's answer. It's bold, simple, and really powerful. 0. The core promise here is that absolutely nothing you do, none of your research, none of your queries, ever leaves your own computer. This is the central pillar of their whole platform, so let's dig into how they actually pull this off.
And really, this gets right to the heart of the dilemma for pretty much every modern researcher. On one hand, you've got this incredible AI power that can help you sift through a total flood of information. But on the other hand, using it often means you're risking your most valuable asset, your ideas, your intellectual property. It feels like you're forced to choose between getting insights and keeping your work private.
And here's that trade-off, laid out plain and simple. With the usual cloud AI, your data gets sent off to some server somewhere. It could be collected, you've got to have an internet connection, and privacy is, well, it's always a question mark. SotaSearch just flips that whole model on its head. Because everything is processed locally, your data literally stays put. There's zero data collection, you can even use it offline. Privacy isn't just a feature they bolted on, it's baked in from the very beginning.
So how in the world does a powerful AI run as your private assistant without ever touching the cloud? We're so used to thinking that AI needs these giant, massive server farms to do anything useful. But the answer, it turns out, is all about a different way of thinking about the tech. And the key is this idea right here, 100% local AI. SotaSearch uses some really cool tech, like WebLM, which basically allows large language models to run right inside your web browser. Just let that sink in for a second. All the heavy lifting, all the computation, all the thinking, it's all happening on your machine. Nothing gets sent out and nothing comes back, except the results you're generating for yourself.
And look, this isn't just one single feature. It's a whole privacy framework. The foundation, of course, is that local processing. That means it works offline and there's absolutely zero tracking of what you do. No analytics, no cookies. Everything from your library of papers to your personal notes just stays in your browser's local storage. And even if you choose to connect to an outside service like OpenAI, that connection is completely end-to-end encrypted. They've really thought about security at every single layer.
Okay, so privacy is obviously a huge, huge deal. But a tool also has to be powerful, right? It has to actually help you do better work. And that brings us to what SotaSearch calls its big, revolutionary feature, the paper map. This thing is designed to go way beyond just summarizing articles and actually help you discover brand new research ideas.
So here's how this pipeline works. First, its gap analysis engine chews through all the source material you feed it. And it's actively looking for contradictions or arguments that don't quite line up, or just areas that nobody has really explored yet. Then, based on those gaps, it actually suggests future research directions. And get this, it can even help you generate a draft abstract for a brand new paper based on the opportunity it just uncovered. It's a direct path from reading to a real, tangible research idea.
Yeah, the best way to think about it is like having a research co-pilot. The point isn't for the AI to do the work for you. Not at all. The goal is for it to be this incredibly meticulous assistant that scans the entire landscape, finds those little missing pieces, the uncharted territories in the literature, so that you, the researcher, can go in and make your mark.
Now, while that paper map feature is definitely the star of the show, SotaSearch is really trying to be more than just a one-trick pony. It's built to be a complete toolkit that can support you through the entire research process, all inside that same private, secure bubble.
And this flexibility is super important. The tool doesn't force you down one path. You can stay 100% private and offline using the built-in web LLM in your browser. Or, if you need a bit more muscle, you can run bigger models on your own machine using Ollama. And if you absolutely need the state-of-the-art power and you're okay with using an API, you can plug in your own key for OpenAI's GPT-4. You get to decide what that trade-off looks like for you.
Let's be honest, a research tool is kind of useless if it can't get to the actual research, right? So SotaSearch connects you directly to the big databases you're probably already using.
Whether you're in biomedicine using PubMed or doing a broader search on Google Scholar, you can find and pull papers right into your private library without leaving the app.
And of course, you get all the essential stuff you'd expect from a tool like this. There's a chat function that actually understands the context of the paper you're looking at, full citation management for all the major styles like APA and MLA, and a solid library system to keep all your PDFs and notes organized.
So, who is this actually for? Well, it seems like the platform is built to be pretty versatile. It's aiming to serve a whole range of people, from PhD candidates all the way to industry analysts. For academic researchers, PhD students, professors, the value here is pretty obvious. It could dramatically speed up that super painstaking literature review process, help you find that crucial novel idea for your thesis, and just handle all the tedious citation grunt work.
Then you've got professional researchers in places like corporate R&D or market analysis. For them, confidentiality is everything. The ability to analyze sensitive internal documents or pre-patent research without any of that information ever leaving the company's firewall, that's a real game changer.
And hey, it's not just for them. It could be really valuable for students and even content creators. It's a powerful way to get the hang of a proper literature review, to quickly fact-check claims against a bunch of sources, and just compile really well-supported research for an article or a final paper.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, but how complicated is it to actually get started? Well, the whole philosophy of control and privacy seems to extend to the setup process too, which is all about giving you options instead of one rigid path.
So, that magic that lets the AI run right in your browser? It's a pretty new technology called WebGPU. For now, it's still an experimental feature in browsers like Chrome, but you just have to enable it once in the settings. Basically, it gives the AI permission to use your computer's graphics card to do its thinking, all without sending a single byte of data over the internet.
Now, it is super important to know that, because WebGPU is still emerging tech, it can be a little quirky sometimes. The SotaSearch docs are really upfront about this. If you run into issues or just want something a bit more stable and powerful, they recommend using an alternative called Llama, which gives you even more control by running slightly bigger models right on your machine.
So ultimately, when you boil it all down, it's about choosing the right balance for your work. You can go for maximum convenience and privacy with a browser-based setup, you can get more robust local power with Llama, or you can connect to the cloud with an API for maximum performance. The choice is completely yours.
And this right here is the entire idea distilled into one single sentence. It's really an attempt to give you the best of both worlds, all the analytical power of cutting-edge AI, but with the absolute, unquestioned privacy of a physical notebook sitting right on your desk.
And that really leaves us with this final thought to chew on. For any researcher, your work is so much more than just a job, right? It's your contribution, it's your legacy. And as AI gets more and more tangled up in the research process, the question of how you protect that legacy becomes more critical than ever. It forces us to think not just about what these tools can do for us, but about how they do it.